Well, Jay, 4 goals and 3 points today. You must be absolutely over the moon with the result. But how did you assess the overall performance as a team?
Pleased with the whole 90 minutes really. I felt that and especially in the first half, we moved the ball around really well. I think we broke them down quite well. Our game plan was to press them as high as we could. We won a lot of ball up there, but also we looked after the ball and we won it high, which is nice. Because I think in recent weeks we've won it high, but then we haven't really looked after the second phase of it. Today we did. First half, I could say that I think we maybe should have scored a couple more in the first half, but then we continued that in the second half. Continued playing football. I think we played some lovely football today. You can really see the sort of shape and the way we were playing, and some really good performances up there. And it's just nice to see the second half come together with a few more goals.
Absolutely, and speaking of the goals, I'm sure Lewis Finney and Tom Chile will both get plaudits for the doubles each, but do you think it was more about team performance today? Instead of 11 individuals, it was a proper team performance?
Yeah, 100%. You know, those two guys get the plaudits because they scored goals, and good goals as well. Really pleased for Tom, because by his own admission, he knows he should have scored a few more than he has done, but he took the two really well, taking goals today. Finney's always arriving at the right time in the box to score the goals, but basically the whole team performance, you look at Will Huffer didn't have much to do, but the ones he did do, he's safe hands, took great crosses. You've got Josh Spinks and Harry Pollard and young Dan Cadman come in. Leon hasn't played for a few weeks and come straight inside and done really well. And then you look at our midfield as well. You know, still some key players missing from that midfield, but they were absolutely brilliant today. Pat Harding, as dependable as ever. Even said how much he enjoyed the game after it as well. Then, as I said, you've got Finney and Connor Ty, who's starting to look more like Connor Ty that we know, who can be one of the best players in the league. So that was really good. And then I thought Hayden Skerry up front, you know, ran himself into the ground. Max Miller's always causing havoc up there, and as I said a minute ago, Tom Shea got his goals.
Absolutely, and I personally thought Hayden Skerry was magnificent today.
Yeah,
he was my man of the match, but it could have been given to anyone, any of the 11.
Yeah.
We now move on to next week, Cray Valley away. Always a tough place to go. They got very handily beaten today, very well beaten by Sevenoaks. Do you think a team that has a bad loss next week when you play them the week after, do you think that makes them a more dangerous team as they look to bounce back against us?
It's a funny one to answer, isn't it? You always think it's a backlash of getting heavily beaten and then also come back and going, we've got, you know, put our socks on and play a bit better. But at the same time, it depends on how you start the game, isn't it? If you match them and get on top of them, it could be, oh my god, here we go again sort of thing. Cray Valley had no doubt a good side. Obviously we know Sevenoaks have now sort of put a team together that will be a very strong side next year in their league and seems to steer themselves clear of the relegation sort of zone now. But Cray Valley, we know they've been in that top area of the league for the whole season, from the word go to now. They've got a very potent sort of strike force. Some of the guys in their team, you know, scored 20 goals this season. So they're always a threat. And if you remember back to the game that we played down here, I think, you know, that was a bit of a thriller, wasn't it? So, you know, you can go into these games, end of season as well. It's a tough call because anything can happen. So it is a free fall. We just know we have to be at our best to beat someone like Cray Valley.